Good evening, everyone. My name is Brett Kingston, and indeed I've been gone for quite some time. You see, unfortunately for me, it's that time of year again where I have to renew my various leases, licenses, and do a whole bunch of other yearly crap I have to do in order to survive in this world without getting hassled or picked on by the government in this cruel, cruel world that we happen to live in. You can't just live and be left alone. You gotta do stuff all the damn time. Anyhow, one of the topics that I've been meaning to bring up once again has been the Ron Paul topic. See, I was deeply offended not too long ago. Someone had left a comment on one of my videos, and that person said, "Brett, you have finally won me back over to you." Apparently, my pro-Ron Paul videos had created a rift between me and him as a listener of mine, and this rift caused him to not utilize my store. When you go to giftsinanhour.com, it will forward you to my Amazon store. And you would think that I would be majorly successful because of this, because I'm giving people a way to search for anything that they want online and get a better financial deal with all the security of Amazon, and I get a commission. It would be a win-win for everyone. And you'd think that anyone that enjoyed my program, even in the least, or even if they didn't enjoy my program, they would still utilize my store. But I had created such a rift with this listener that it took me 2 months to win him back due to one of my pro-Ron Paul videos. And I wanted to take some time and speak on that. You know, if a religious person were to write to me and say, Brett, I would go to your store, or I would consider a PayPal donation, or I would help you out any way I could, if it wasn't for the fact that you are constantly slamming religion, I would not have given two craps about that. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty freaking clear with everyone when I say, if you support religion, don't support me. So why did I get all ticked off about a person saying, well, if you support Ron Paul, I'm not going to support you? Because I don't support Ron Paul. Ron Paul is my chosen poison. Do you understand? He's not my hero. You want to know who's running for office that I could consider a hero? Maybe Roseanne. I consider her to be more of a hero than Ron Paul. But I know she's not going to win, even though she is actually running for president. I endorsed Ron Paul because I figured, number one, he had the most realistic chance of winning if he were to go up against Barack Obama. See, it's a weird thing. He's least likely to win the Republican nomination. And it's not even really that weird when you think about it. Republicans are, they're Republicans. But even though clearly he would not win the bulk of Republican votes from the Republican establishment, on a global scale, I think a lot of people in their head can envision Ron Paul giving Barack Obama the fight of his life. What Barack Obama did was politically unforgivable. He endorsed the National Defense Authorization Act, and Ron Paul sternly opposed the National Defense Authorization Act. What the National Defense Authorization Act does is it kills America. It makes it so that we are no different than Russia or any other country that doesn't give their citizens their due and just rights. So it really pissed me off when a listener told me that they weren't going to support me because they feel I support Ron Paul. There's a difference between me and a Ron Paul fanboy. You know who's a Ron Paul fanboy? Mox News. Moxie is a Ron Paul fanboy. He will defend Ron Paul to the death. I won't. I'll acknowledge all the dumb crap Ron Paul does or has done. For example, the racist emails. If Ron Paul worked for me and I had appointed him a CEO of one of my companies, and he told me that he had no idea what was written in the newsletter my company had put out, I would terminate him right then and there. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is what I want to say about Ron Paul. And I also made it clear, I said, look, if you can give me a better argument as to exactly why Ron Paul isn't the lesser of all realistic evils likely to win the election, I'll be right there with you. And the only arguments I've seen have been from foreigners where they praise Obama on how he handled the economy. Like that one guy, Dangerously Talented. Loved his comedy videos. But I read his comments, his political comments, and they drive me up the wall. Because I read them and I know the only reason this person is pro-Obama is because he doesn't give two craps about Americans losing their rights because he is not in America. He's in Australia. And that's the truth. Foreigners aren't going to give a damn about our personal rights because they have no personal rights of their own. At least that's the way it is when it comes to the bulk of them. So please do not consider me to be a blind supporter of Ron Paul. I am 100% anti-religion. I am 100% pro-weed. Those are the only two things I have a solid foundation on. If you want to judge me on that, I'm perfectly cool with it. Also wanted to talk a little bit about porn in this video. Not just porn, but the adult entertainment industry as a whole, particularly marketing the adult entertainment industry as a whole. You know, in the year 2020, I firmly believe that America and the bulk of other nations are going to have to turn to pornography and the adult entertainment industry as a whole to generate revenue. Why do I say that? It's because that is the estimated timeline when we will have reached the peak of electronic advancement. In other words, they're not going to be able to create a computer the following year that can do more than the one that you're going to have in the year 2020. So there'll be no need for you to buy another computer. Hence, the economy is going to freeze. What's going to save the economy? Boobs. Yeah. The adult entertainment industry. People are always going to have an appetite for porn and adult things. It's just the way it is. So I've decided that I'm going to look into capitalizing on this. Maybe even reach out to you guys and see if you can't help me out. If, maybe you have an adult site that you run, or you can pass this video on to people who are in the adult entertainment industry on some level. You see, what I was thinking about doing was, I have the domain name bigtimestars.com. I want to be able to do adult no-holds-barred shows. And I finally found a host that will let me broadcast anything I want, any way I want. They've given me a license to say anything at any time. In other words, I don't have to worry about violating any terms of service because I know the guy who wrote the terms of service and who has complete control over the terms of service. So what I was thinking of doing is I would have my own web page when you go to bigtimestars.com, and it would have my exclusive adult videos, and there would be no type of interruption when you were watching a video. No beginning ads, no middle ads, nothing. Just the straight show, no registration, no BS. You just go to bigtimestars.com and you start listening to the hardcore epic shows. And the way I would generate revenue would be I would have two ads in the corners. They wouldn't be flashing ads. They wouldn't be anything annoying. And these two ads would represent two adult sites. One would be for gay pornography, which would be the best of gay porn as chosen by my son, who happens to be homosexual. And the other one would be straight porn. Now, I have to let everyone know that I really like lesbian porn, so I'm going to probably highlight a lot of that. And these two adult sites would be my sponsors. and it would make it so my life would be easier because my rent would be paid for. I'm not looking to get rich. I'm just looking to make it so I don't have to leave the freaking house. Or I could also make it so that the side ads would have clickable links to escorts, maybe even escorts that I've done interviews with, so you can get to know the escort before you know, try her out. So these are the ideas that I have. I still have to build on these ideas. And if you think you can help me pull this off in any way, please contact me and let me know. Also, add me as a friend on Facebook. My Facebook URL is facebook.com/puffthis, PUFFTHIS.
Like my stuff? Then don't be a douche and buy me a beer. There's a PayPal link below. Hook it up, man. Also, please subscribe to all my channels on the YouTubes. Add me as a friend on the Facebooks if you are over 18 years old. Follow me on the Twitter and let me tweet you when I blast out a hot one. Plus, if you are ever gonna buy anything on the internet, do it on my exclusive Amazon store. Just type giftsinandwhore.com to any URL and it will forward you there. Clickable links to all my stuff below in the description box of this video. Twitter.com/BrettKinster, YouTube.com/BrettKinster, YouTube.com/tipsandinfo, Facebook.com/Puffthis.